Josh, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thanks for having me.
I should just say to people, very privileged because you're notoriously media shy and I've had to kind of force Josh into this.
Yeah, it's been months in the making, isn't it, really?
Yeah, so thanks for coming on because a few people have requested you actually.
I'm sure plenty, yeah. So many fans out there.
All 7 of them.
All 7 of them. Thank you, all 7 of them.
No, they have, honestly. So today we went fishing. I'll just give a quick prelude to this. And lo and behold, we saw a bloody otter. Can't escape
Saw a bloody otter. Yeah, everywhere I go, they seem to turn up.
Can't escape. The first one in knots for me, so I was pretty happy with that. When I was coming up with questions, because for those who don't know, how long have we known each other now?
Probably 13 years.
30? It is 13,
Yeah, 10 years since we graduated, so...
Jesus Christ, you could have killed someone and been out by now, couldn't I?
Probably have, yeah.
Well, but yeah, so I've known you a fair time, but I don't know before then. So where did wildlife photography start for you?
Probably going abroad when I was younger with family and going to France and seeing lizards and snakes. Nick and my dad's sort of just compact camera and then just taking pictures of those, and then from there went on, didn't know what I needed to do after school.
So was it more... Were you interested in the photography or was it the wildlife?
The wildlife for sure, yeah.
Right.
And I was just using the photography to document it and show other people, really.
I think
and
that's...
same now. Like I just use photography as a medium to show people what's out there.
I think that's quite common in wildlife photographers, isn't it? Like, I don't meet many who are camera nerds. It tends to be like they're just obsessed with... I mean, there'll be a few nerds, but it tends to be the people who are just obsessed with wildlife and the camera's just a tool, isn't it?
Yeah, like I'm not amazingly technical in my imagery. I just sort of go there, document it, and the camera's just there just to take pictures.
Well, and I don't want to massage your ego because I want you to be able to fit out the door, but...
Good luck.
But I do think your photography is a fantastic blend of a little bit of art, but not too arty, and natural history. You don't go full art.
Yeah, never go full art.
Never go full art.
Never go full art.
But like you kind of bring a little bit of that in with your backlighting and your
gorgeous
light.
You try and mix it in, show a bit of behaviour, but then show something that someone's not maybe seen before in the same sort of way. So
I think it works really well.
Yeah,
I think it looks really well. And I think you're. I probably don't say this to you, but I do think you're a very good photographer.
You've never said this to me.
I say it daily.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'm always complimenting you on your...
You're not too bad either, mate.
Oh, dear, I'm crying.
Should we stop now and go to the other room?
Yeah. Take me now. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, that didn't take long to devolve, did it? I guess what most people would associate with you is otters. So what is it about otters that interests you so much?
It's just one of those species that are notoriously hard to come across, or they were. They're a lot easier these days, but yeah, they haven't been documented much, and they always give you a bit of hardball when going out to photograph them. You never have an easy day with them. So It's that challenge of going out and actually working for your images, not sort of sat in a hide and having things baited in and landing, take a picture and it's gone.
Yeah.
There's
a lot more effort. Like, you can't... there's hard work that goes into getting shots.
Yeah, and that's the part I like about wildlife and being in the outdoors and the unexpected. If you sit in a hide and they're baited, you know they're going to sit there and catch a fish and that's it. Whereas with the otters, you never know what they're going to do. They always surprise you, and I've seen them most days of my life, and every day is different. Every day they do something else, so yeah.
I guess no two images are going to be the same with otters, are they?
No, very rarely, unless you go to certain places where they come out the same places.
And, but I mean, like in terms of going looking for them, if you're walking along whether it's the coast of Shetland or Norfolk, you're not. It's going to be different each time.
Yeah, every time, and the lighting and everything's always going to be different, all the conditions.
So when did that? Because I'm trying to think. Because when you were at uni, 13 years ago. Because me and Josh lived together.
Yeah,
as well.
2 years.
That was the best time of my life.
Sure.
So we lived. There was 5 of us actually. There was all on the same court. 5 guys.
And Jackie occasionally.
And Jackie, we're not allowed to say that because he wasn't meant to be living with us.
Yeah, so there's 5 of us. There wasn't Jackie in the cupboard.
I mean, I doubt the landlords are listening to this 13 years later, but Jackie was basically like E.T. He lived in our cupboard, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't meant to. I'm not sure if we're meant to say. We'll leave it in. No one will care. But yeah, there was just all of 6 boys. Technically, then all living together, and I wouldn't say our house was too bad. Thinking about it,
no, we were a pretty good house, to be fair.
It wasn't. You think of 6 lads all together, but it wasn't too bad. But I'm trying to think when we were at uni, because you weren't utterly obsessed then.
Not at all, no. So only sort of kicked. I saw one of my first otters in Cornwall on the river.
I remember that.
It
Well, you remember telling me.
it literally went under my legs on the really shallow river up in the estuary.
Ah.
So yeah, but that didn't really get me started with otters. It was back home in Norfolk when me and you actually were going down the river looking for kingfishers, and we bumped into a lady and said, "Oh, there's some otters come here regularly." And that was the Thetford otters, and we were the first one. Well, you didn't see them,
I didn't
but
see it. No,
I went a week later and found them and started off there, and then got hooked on them from there.
So really, I'm responsible for your success in your career, aren't I?
Yeah, so you have created me pretty much. So thank you.
Where's my fucking royalties?
They're in the post.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah,
thank
the
you.
£2.50 that I owe you.
I do vaguely remember that. So you were the first one to work, because I don't know if anyone. Some of the older photographers might remember there was an otter in the middle of Thetford. And it was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah, there were two that were very tame, and it did get to a point where it was a bit of a circus, and people done things they shouldn't have done. They were feeding them and baiting them up trees and all sorts. But
you were the first one to work.
Yeah, so I worked on them for the first 2 months without anyone else down there, and then people started getting hints that they were there. I think a black belly dipper turned up or something, and loads of birders turned up, and normal cases with birders. They all turn up and they all tell each other everything, and their sites get ruined. So
I remember because we saw that dipper, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw that dipper as well.
So we did. So we're one of them terrible birders, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was gunning for the otter to catch it, but
that would have been a good shot, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And what we're gonna get into the crux of is the wildlife photography industry, because I thought me and you would normally. We can't really broadcast what we'd normally say, but we'll kind of distill what we can.
We'll try.
We'd normally have a good old discussion about this industry, because I think all too often if you Google wildlife photography industry, it's always like, oh, if you try hard, you will succeed. And if you do this, 10 ways to be... And a lot of it's largely bullshit.
Yeah.
And I just thought, no one talks about the actual industry. So that's what, whatever that is, that's what I thought I'd talk to you about. And the first thing is guiding, because obviously... You do your own workshops, but you do a hell of a lot of guiding with... I was going to say the other one, Shetland.
Oh, no.
Slap on there. Bryden will be like shaking his fist. Shetland Nature.
Yeah.
So, what's it like being a photography guide?
It's amazing. Like, I love showing people wildlife and getting them to see what I normally see every day. So I really get a kick off showing people wildlife and infuriating them. Is that a word? Probably not. But getting them enthusiastic about it, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And so, guiding for me, I love it just because I can do that. The bad side of it, like we don't take our cameras out when we guide up there because we feel like if people are paying you to go see wildlife, they're wanting your 100% sort of concentration on finding otters or finding whatever you're looking for.
I guess it's like if someone's teaching you to play football and they start kicking it.
Yeah, and if you start trying to take pictures, if you're photographers, you get stuck in your zone and then you'll forget about your clients or you'll nudge them out of the way to get a picture of an otter or something. And things happen, like they might be photographing one otter and there'll be other otters coming the other way. And if you're photographing that, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And it just ruins their experience. So, we have a good policy of not taking cameras, but at the same time, when the clients are coming back with some epic pictures, you are kicking yourself. And,
I bet it.
Rather gutting sometimes.
I bet. And I know you've said a few stories, so I've can't name names, but I remember you telling me one about someone who was very keen on a wren.
No. Yeah, they wanted to photograph a wren, and the orcas turned up.
Yeah.
And
it's not just any wren, though, is it?
Oh no, it's the Shetland wren, special subspecies, which you can see any time of any day, pretty much. And that was the second year I was up there and never seen orcas. And they adamant they wanted to see the wren. And then the next day they were like, can we see orcas now? And I was like, no, we can't. They've gone.
We're just going to sit and look at this bloody wren again.
Yeah.
But I guess if it's what they want to do, if that's what they're paying for, you've got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah, but I've had a few instances where I've taken other photographers out who have brought their own clients.
Yeah.
And they've gone off and done their own photography and literally left their clients behind for sort of me to look after as well.
Yeah.
And they've gone off and got shots when their clients haven't, because they've just literally left them over slippery rocks and not been able to get over, but they wanted to just get the shots. So
not great, is it?
Yeah, so it's not great and not people I'd work with again.
Yeah.
Because of that. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to make a living from still? Because you do stills and video, of course.
Yeah.
But I guess like myself, you started off as pretty much a solely stills photographer.
Yeah.
And
I realised there's not much money in it.
No. Yeah. Just about.
So if you were just doing stills, you're not going to make money.
No.
Like that's why guiding's a good sort of extra to that because you're out and you can still get pictures sort of on your days off and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I wouldn't have said there was really a job in stills anymore.
Well, I always think you can make money from stills, but you can't make a living. I'd say most people can make some money from it, but like if you literally want your full-time career to just take still images of wildlife in the UK, my personal opinion is you ain't going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I probably 25% of my wage is probably stills, maybe.
You reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, just with exhibitions and stock and stuff like that.
Do you like doing that sort of stuff, exhibitions and things?
I don't mind it. They seem to be good money makers at times, so I wouldn't say no to them. But and it's good to meet people as well, out and about.
Is it not a bit like you're kind of pouring your heart and soul out there because you've got all your images on I don't know if you've ever had this, but like where people come and have a look at them and go like, oh, that's expensive, or oh, I don't like that photo, or have you been all right like that?
Not too bad, but you do have times like I sit in the exhibition sometimes and someone comes in and don't see me and they're like, well, that's rubbish, isn't it? And I was like, well, that's personal taste, mate. Like, there's another exhibition over there if you want to go over there, but yeah, this is all right.
I don't know if I've told you this. I remember doing a stall at Patchings. There's an art fair not too far from here, and like my I don't do it very grand. I just literally had a table with a cloth on and a couple of prints on it. And there was another guy, I can't remember his name because he was that unremarkable, but he had but he was doing like...
Was it me?
It wasn't you. No,
oh, okay.
It wasn't, I remember it was you. He had like all these African animals and stuff, like elephants and lions and shit. And it was a huge market stall, and he seemed to know, well, I think he knew what he was doing. And he came up to me and he just started giving me unsolicited advice, which really grinds my gears. Like, I don't mind if you ask for advice, but he was like, oh, you should stand up and you should smile. I was like, I don't want to fucking smile.
I've never seen you smile, mate. Yeah.
I do have resting bitch face quite bad. I do. I'm a miserable looking cunt, really. But I was just getting really angry at him. And then he said, and then I just said to him, like, is this your job then? He's like, yeah, of course it's my job. And I said, well, how do you make any money then? Just selling pictures of elephants and whatever. And he went, oh, well, basically I spend 9 months of the year doing stalls. And I do 3 months going to Africa. And I thought, so you spend most of your time standing around country fairs talking to grannies, basically? And he was like, yeah. And I went, that sounds like fucking hell. Yeah,
that would be pretty... Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. I can't imagine you being that. You're not really a people person, are you?
I hate people.
Yeah, same. So, yeah.
That's why we get on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can do it for sort of 2-3 weeks, and then, that's my fill of people, really.
Well, your exhibition... I don't know, I haven't. I was going to say I haven't been to it. I'd be bullshitting. But at least most of the people who go to that, they're going to like nature and
normally pick places where people will be into that sort of thing. But I try not to do what everyone else does. Like, it's a exhibition space that anyone can go to.
Right. Okay.
And everyone does just portraits of birds or mammals, which sell well, but they don't really get people talking. Whereas I try and do a bit more of my arty stuff up as well, and it gets people looking and questioning, and it gives them a new experience to what they'd normally see in an exhibition, where they'll just be. Like, oh, it's a nice portrait.
No,
it'll look nice on my wall, but
yeah. So I tried doing a fish exhibition, and weirdly didn't sell very
probably
well.
Didn't sell much, but it probably got a lot more people interested in talking than a general thing. So it's good to get that out there to show that side off. Maybe a bit of a mix next time.
Yeah, I think that. Oh God, sorry.
That's all right. That's that cup of tea.
That's that cup of tea. I'm not actually. Originally, me and Josh, I was going to get a nice bottle of scotch out, but me and Josh instead went greyhound racing last night and had a few too many, so we're a little bit delicate at the moment. Yeah. So we're on tea instead because we're hardcore.
Our fifth tea for the day.
Our fifth tea of the day. What's your thoughts on sponsorship?
Sponsorship, I've got no problems with it.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just everyone's just gagging to get a bit of sponsorship.
What a great word. Gagging. They are gagging for
They literally are, and they just come over way too desperate. And once they get it, they still seem desperate. And you just have to sell your soul a bit and just keep on bombarding all your followers who are just there to see your pictures.
They don't give a shit.
They don't care.
By XYZ.
Yeah, they don't care. And I feel they don't really want to be lathered with, oh, buy this, buy that from this people. So, I've got nothing wrong with it. But, for me, it's not something I would
think as well... And I should just say I'm sponsored by a couple of people, but I think as well there's no such thing as a free meal.
No.
And everyone always thinks, oh, I'm going to get loads of free stuff. And you might do, but you'll work for it.
Yeah.
It's an exchange of goods. You're not getting paid money, you're just getting paid in a bit of gear.
Yeah.
So it's still not, unless you're like a ridiculously, like a celebrity, but they might give you free stuff because they're expecting you to wear it and someone to see it. But in our game, They want you to work for that free stuff.
Yeah, when you're lower down the food chain, then
for sure.
you get stuff, but you have to give a lot back, and you have to, as I say, sort of bombard your followers or people and to try and make it worthwhile for the people who've given you stuff.
And you almost never get money as well.
No,
almost
exactly.
never.
It's always gear, which
binoculars or whatever the company's trying to push, I guess. But I should just say as well, playing devil's advocate, if you really do believe in that company or it's useful to be with that company, go for it.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because is there anyone you would want to work with, or you're not really giving it any thought, or
not really giving it any thought?
No, I'm sure if Nikon said, "Here's a bloody
but I'm not. It's not the end of the world. I've got the gear I want. To be fair, so
yeah, I guess you just.
That'd be nice to see the new camera. Yeah, but at the same time, there's nothing. I'd really jump out.
You haven't got to do the commitments and the shows.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess.
Yeah,
I can see that, and we both did the degree. We both did marine and natural history degree. And a question I've been asked a few times, and I thought I'd put it to you, is: do you think a degree is worthwhile for wildlife photography?
Not overly.
Okay, next question.
No, I love my course that I was on, and met some great people like yourself and all the other people on the course. But at the same time, the money you sort of lose, you could put into experience and going out there, producing videos, producing stills, getting equipment and building it up that way. The course was good. We met each other and we sort of self-taught each other and everyone else on the course. We sort of
we did
helped each other out, and that was good. And we got connections, and we all still chat and help each other out where we can. So that side of it was good. And we did learn stuff, and and I loved the experience. But overall, I wouldn't have said really you'd have to go to uni to do wildlife photography or anything.
If you look at a lot of other professional photographers, they tend to have degrees in zoology or something like that, which I can kind of see that being quite useful, really. If
I was going back to do it again, I probably would have gone back to do zoology, just because I'm interested into wildlife and the behaviours and things, and that side of things, and it probably would have developed my photography more, because the more you know about subject matter, the more you can predict and, get better shots. So
I guess that opens up more jobs as well, because if you've got a photography degree,
sort of you can do bits on the side as well.
And,
do a mix and match, because you and me, we're mix and match really. We do photography, I do droning, do video, do a bit of everything. So
all of it really. I think what I always think with the uni is, I don't think you need a degree, but I always think that if I hadn't have gone to Falmouth for 3 years, I don't know what I'd be doing now. I don't know if I would be a what, because I've got a short attention span. I'd be I don't know, in a ditch in Thailand or something probably by now. So or somewhere in a ditch. So I think
most ditches are quite nice, to be fair.
I love a good ditch. Been
at many.
But I think that that focused me, and it got me on the right track. So although the degree itself maybe wasn't as useful, it was.
It gave you a purpose.
It gave me a purpose
and a direction to go to, didn't it? And it had an amazing camera stall as well, where you could just go
millions of pounds worth of gear that we use, and I broke.
You broke quite a lot. I remember one day you came back and you broke like a 600mm lens and had to pay 200 quid. And the rest of it was covered. And I broke a macro flash which cost 250, and I had to pay 200 as well. So I might as well have thrown the bloody 600mm in there. Ridiculous.
And I flooded two housings.
I had
the stores bloody hated me. They weren't a big fan.
But no, that was a massive thing, because they had all the equipment you wanted, and you did. Obviously, when you're starting out, you don't have much gear. Like I went to Falmouth with like a Pentax, and like a kit lens. And then after a year or so, I bought a camera body, and then just used all their lenses and housings and stuff, and that really helped me progress, I think, and know what sort of lenses I wanted to use.
I think it's a case of. Because I got asked this question the other day at a talk. I was telling you yesterday about it. Like, a little old lady said to me, "What's the best camera for wildlife photography?" That's my impression of a little old lady. And I sort of went off on her and just said, "You wouldn't ask a painter what paintbrush they use, because ultimately you've kind of got that skill in you." But that being said, if you've got the best lens, the best camera, the best accessories, it's gonna help.
Yeah, it's gonna help. It's gonna make image making easier and quicker, but then it takes some of the joy out of it now as well.
I guess so.
You got some of these mirrorless cameras now that's got eye tracking, and you literally don't have to press the focus down, you just have to press a shutter, and you take 60 shots in a second or whatnot.
Some of them do pre-capture now, so it's making
pictures a lot easier.
But
you can get just as good stuff with your iPhone if you can get close to the subject. Obviously, if you need to get longer lens, then you can do that. But you can get a picture of any camera.
Yeah, oh for sure. It's a weird one, isn't it? I guess you just gotta work to what you can afford.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I didn't have a pot to piss in when I left uni, and I just kind of got budget stuff and worked my way. Up to
we
where I
both
am.
had 70 to 300s at uni most of the time, wasn't it?
Still
Just
got
sort-
it.
yeah,
It's in here somewhere.
yeah, like the £450 one. And I still use it. I still sell images from that. Still, that I use on that, and my D90. I take my D90, which is God knows how old now. I'm still taking pictures and selling it. Use it as camera trap stuff. And
I sell images that I took out. Not many, but occasionally an image will sell that I took at uni.
Yeah.
13-year-old image.
You took some pictures at uni, did you?
One or two. I mean, when I sobered up.
Yeah.
I mean,
just nightclubs, I think, wasn't it? Just Club Eye.
Club Eye's been mentioned on this podcast a worryingly amount, and there's been some high-profile people.
Should we get sponsored by Club Eye? Yeah. That's the one place I probably would go.
I would happily be sponsored by Club Eye.
I've got 2 baseball caps with Club Eye.
You have this. So Josh's biggest achievement is that.
Career, I think.
In your career, why did you get those caps?
I think one was for dancing.
Jesus Christ!
And then the other one was fancy dress, I think.
What did you dress up as? Probably can't say.
Yeah, I probably won't go there.
It was a different time.
It was a different time back then.
It was a different time. Oh God, yeah. If you've never been to Club Eye in Falmouth, it's an experience, and you should all go.
Yeah,
for sure.
And just say our names, and you'll get free entry.
Well, one of our friends used to get let in for free.
Yeah,
I think because the lady behind the thing fancied him, and then we end up having to pay. We either have to pay for him or we get
pay
charged.
Double. Yeah,
or like you two ugly bastards. You're paying double, aren't you? Oh God. So, how would you describe wildlife photography as an industry in Britain then?
I don't know really.
Because you typically try and keep out the circus, don't you?
Yeah, I try not to speak to anyone or get involved with anything. There's a lot of politics and quite a lot of backstabbing or just jumping on each other's bandwagons and so I keep out of it most of the time. And
it's like being back at school sometimes.
Isn't it? Yeah, and you hear all these things and like rumours go around left, right, and centre about everyone. And
well, if people knew half of the shit about UK wildlife photographers, they'd be. I mean, I know. I'm not going to name any names here, but I know one that's a convicted paedophile.
Yeah,
I think I told you about.
Yeah,
I know. Well, I heard some stuff tonight which I can't talk about.
Yeah,
like something as well, which I'm like, Jesus Christ, they've done that. I heard one that potentially did a bank robbery. I mean, again, it's kind of the paedophile thing is true. I've actually seen it online, so that's not Chinese whispers. That is actually true. But you hear all kinds of crazy shit. Don't you?
And then you just hear stuff that just ethics and what people do to get the shots.
Well, of course,
that annoys me because people, just try and take shortcuts, and you hear and you know that they've full well done it, and they've done things that they really shouldn't have done. It's not into the wildlife's benefit; it's for theirs, and it's all about the shot, not the wildlife, which annoys me. So I'm not the biggest fan of the industry personally.
No, it can be quite toxic. Really. Two-faced.
But there are some lovely people in it. Like
let's put that caveat in.
Yeah, like myself. And I suppose you're not too bad.
Am I all right?
Yeah,
I think I'm all right. I'm sure some people don't like me.
Oh yeah, majority probably have something against you, but you're all right to get on with for a few days.
I like to think that I'm a relatively straight. I don't think I'm two-faced.
You don't bullshit or anything. You tell people how it is, which is what I like.
And we all. I forget there's a term. Is it good eggs we call them or good uns or something? But there's maybe literally a handful of people. I won't name them in fairness as well. But there are just a few who I actually think, you know what, they are decent human beings, and I trust them. But there aren't many.
No, there's not many that I would go out of the way to.
That's what we're up against, aren't we, mate?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's just a bit toxic at times.
It can be. It's a funny one, isn't it? And this industry, I mean, not only have you got to kind of worry about the other people in it, I guess, but the effects of it. So, like, have you found it's affected your family life or your social life or anything like that?
Not overly. I try and keep it apart, really.
Do you?
Yeah, so I never let it try and overtake me but the actual job itself, because you're freelance, you're thinking about it all the time. So
of course.
Even when you're not working in the evenings, you're still answering emails and doing things like that. So it's not like a easy job or anything. People think it's an easy going life, but you are constantly on it, and it does take its toll after a while.
I think it's healthy to try and have a break from it, isn't it, as well? Or I'm a bug. Like, the weekends mean fuck all to me.
Yeah.
What's the weekend? Or holidays.
You're working constantly, aren't you?
Like, it's a school holiday. Is it?
Yeah.
It means enough. And then work hours. I think that's the other, like you say, your phone pings with an email.
Yeah.
You've got to check it.
Yeah.
You've got to have a look, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's all hours, really. You get up for sunrise, and then you might come home, do some emails, and then go out for sunset. You're doing more than 8-hour days a lot of the time. Some days you don't, but yeah, most of the time, yeah, you can do long old days.
I can see how it could affect, certainly, like, say if you're single,
Yeah,
like your partner might not be happy with you going off at early hours, or even potentially, let's say you do camera work. Sometimes you could be filming for months.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
I mean, Lindsay McCrae came on the podcast. He spent 11 months in Antarctica.
Yeah, and he had a kid during that time as well, didn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, his wife is, hats off to her, bless her. But,
Yeah.
Honestly, how many people would be happy for their partner? Probably not happy, but, there'll be people who just wouldn't, that you'd have to choose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I personally wouldn't have been able to do that, I don't think.
You wouldn't?
No, I'd really struggle to have done that. But I know everyone's different and works.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's it, isn't it? And it's a tough one. You gotta make these different
and he got
choices.
some amazing stuff on that trip, so
it's all worth it. I mean, he missed the birth of his kid.
Yeah.
He?
And the first half a year, I suppose.
Yeah, so that would have grown. Yeah, so it can take a toll on that, and I guess socially, to a degree, it can take a toll with things like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, socially, I don't really socialise with a huge amount of people from the industry or anything, so
No.
I keep that all side to side. You're the only one. Well, there's a few others, but most of my other friends are non-wildlife based. So
I think that's nice to separate, isn't it? Because my I know your partner's not really into wildlife, and my wife's not particularly, and I actually like that because it means when I get in,
you can talk about something else, can't you?
You can just switch off.
Yeah.
I remember coming in and saying to Emma, "Oh my God, I've just seen this greyling and it was mating." She said, "Let me stop you right there. You're boring and I don't care." and
that's most people.
That's most people. I thought that's why I married you. That's why I married you. Because I think it's healthy. I think what would you just? I understand that if you've got common interests, that's great. But I think often it actually works that opposites attract.
I think it does
to a degree.
Yeah, definitely, and it gives you if someone was really keen on the wildlife as well, your partner. Then even more. You wouldn't stop thinking about it. You'd be talking about it all the time with them, and you'd be thinking about it all the time. And you just wouldn't get a rest. Whereas, as you say, with our partners,
pretty lucky, aren't we?
You're talking to them, and then they don't care what you're doing. Really,
I think so.
Show a bit of interest, but not too much, which is nice.
Have you ever been screwed over?
What, in a job or?
well, just in life. Oh man, let me tell you about this. No, I mean in wildlife photography.
Photography.
Someone hustled me in cars.
Yeah, we won't go into that then.
Piece of shit. No, I mean in wildlife, it's like, has anyone sort of took advantage of you in terms of I don't know, maybe
Talk about photography again.
Talking about photography again,
okay.
We're not talking about that night in Falmouth.
Yeah.
But has anything like that happened where someone's kind of screwed you from maybe inexperience or something like that, or
when I was starting out, I suppose not screwed, but people wouldn't give you the money that you deserved for pieces.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like my first filming job, I think I got paid something like £200 or something ridiculous, and I'd worked, weeks on it, sort of thing.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't know what the industry standards was or anything like that.
Is that you have to say who? Was that TV?
Yeah, it was TV. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it was Springwatch. But
bastard.
Yeah, but that's when having links in the industry knows, and we have a friend who asked us recently about rates for
we did.
For TV and things, and obviously
did.
we helped him out, and so he didn't do the same thing of my experience there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But they just take advantage, and everyone's trying to save money, aren't they? So they're always trying to go for the cheapest thing, and as we said earlier, always go higher, and hopefully they'll come lower. Or
don't give that away, otherwise they'll know what we do.
Well, I don't care.
Can't give away too many industry tips.
Yeah, that's true.
We need, if people are wanting to get into this industry, it's our job to put the fuckers off.
Oh yeah, we don't want more competition.
We don't want more competition.
There's no competition, mate. We're top level.
Oh bloody hell! Jesus, his head has swollen.
Yeah, I'm not getting out of this door.
You ain't getting
now.
out of that door.
Yeah.
Oh bloody hell. It is. It's difficult, isn't it? Because
But you've been screwed over a few times, haven't you?
Mate.
I'm countless.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how many times there was the book, which I won't go into because I've already talked about it on the podcast. There was an app. Did I tell you I did an app?
No.
Well, I did.
How have you done an app?
No, I sound so shocked. I didn't. So someone approached me and they said, "We'd like to use your fish images for an app," and I was like, "I'm not sure." And they said, "Oh, well, we've done a tree app, and the tree app did really well." I was like, "Well, if people buy fucking trees, they'll love fish." That's my logic. Yeah. So, and they said, "Oh, well, we can't pay you, but we can give you a percentage." And I was like, "Okay, well, what did the tree app get?" And they said, "I don't know what it was, a few £1,000." Oh, okay, well, a few percent of that'd be great. So I said, yeah. Sent them the images, and I didn't hear anything more from them. And then I tried to find them, and the company had been dissolved. And I thought, this is really weird. And what had happened is they'd sold the company as a package with all wildlife, so birds, mammals, and then fish, which they didn't have, to another company. And then it meant that they didn't have to pay me, basically.
All right.
So it got around it. So I was just like, oh my God, I've been absolutely... So I got in touch with that company. They were actually fine, but I couldn't really have a go at them because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But what they also had done is they'd called it the Jack Perks Fish app. So I was like, hang on a minute, like, you're using my name to sell this.
Yeah.
So I got them to take that name off. And it just sort of taught me that 0% of nothing is nothing.
Yeah.
And be very, very wary, not always, but be very, very wary when someone says, we'll give you a percentage.
Yeah, if it's not a well-known company
Yeah.
or someone you can trust, or try and speak to other people and see
I think
if
so.
they worked with these companies before and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But
All
they...
helps.
I mean, to be fair, the company that's took over, that we've got a pretty good relationship with, but this other one, they just sort of... I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And it's why... so Harvey Tweets, who's been on the podcast before, because he's, how old is he? 18, I'm 30 now. And he was sort of saying, Jack, you're very kind of jaded, cynical, and almost worn down.
You have been your whole life, mate.
But I was just like, well, that's what this industry does. It makes you... For me, this is my personal opinion. Other people might not necessarily agree. But it does make you like that because... Again, you said you've not been screwed over. Maybe I just attract dickheads. I don't know. But I've just been screwed so many times. I've just got zero patience for bullshit.
Yeah, which is fair enough, and
You
it's
know.
not a bad way to be.
No.
Because it'll stop you doing it again.
Like with TV, like you send an idea in, and then they use the idea and they don't use you.
Yeah.
That's so now. I mean, that's so annoying. I don't know if have you ever had that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just me.
can't say.
Just me
just
naive.
you.
I'm just naive enough to do that.
Yeah,
But,
you just have to tell them the bare minimum and hope they like the idea enough to sort of get you involved and tell you more, so to speak. But it's hard because you have to sell it, so you have to try and tell them as much as possible. But at the same time, hide a few details that will potentially prevent them from doing it themselves.
Well, I've found now that as well, if you just make it clear they've got to use you.
Yeah.
If you're going to pitch an idea to TV, you say, listen, you've got to use me in some capacity, or you pay me for my intellectual property.
Yeah, which you've done a few times.
Yeah, no,
haven't
I've
you?
done that. Yeah, I've done that. So I think that's the other key. And yeah, it's like before, I'll get someone like, Jack, I'm working for so. Let me just stop you there. Here's what I'm charging. And if you're going to use this idea, and now that's better. And I think a lot of the time they kind of respect you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because often, if you're the guy that just gives stuff away for free, they're probably not going to risk taking you to abroad. They're not going to put you in Alaska or some far-flung place.
Yeah.
They want to be confident that you're a professional, and the only way you're going to be professional is paying and charging.
Yeah, definitely.
So it doesn't pay you to give shit. I mean, I did a whole podcast on this.
Oh, did you?
But it doesn't pay you to give shit away for free.
No, not at all. Yeah, all your work is worth money. However small it is, you always should get something out of it.
And and we know people in the industry, and you don't know their circumstances and what they want ultimately to get from it. But to me, it just seems absolutely bonkers that you would give your hard-earned time, equipment, style, if you want it, and then just say, "Yeah, there you go, have that for free." I mean, I guess there are the odd circumstance. But I mean, because a lot of people say, I give away to charity. Like, charity got the most fucking money. Them bastards are rich.
I do discount some of the charities.
You soft-hearted
the
bastard.
local ones anyway. Yeah,
I charge them more.
Do you? Yeah.
I hike it up.
And that's why they don't use you.
Just to clarify, I don't actually hike up prices. For charity, that was a little bit of a joke. I've occasionally done twat tax.
Twat tax. Oh yeah.
Twat tax, which is basically if someone's been a knobhead, you add a couple of quid. That happens occasionally as well. So we're giving all the little.
I know too many tips.
There are too many tips in.
Which I think only we use, like twat tax. I don't think too many people use. But
I bet they do on us.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I get charged.
Walk
so
into
much.
McDonald's, that'll be 50 quid.
Oh,
okay.
Fair play. I'm a twat.
You want chicken nuggets? And I love them nuggets. But it is a strange old industry. I'm trying not to be negative because there are upsides to it. I mean,
no, I've loved my career so far and I enjoy what I'm doing. So there's always upsides, but you just have to get through the bad stuff. But the same as any job, really. There's always going to be some bad eggs and bad experiences, isn't there?
Yeah, because do you get any stress like with it all, or?
Yeah, at times. Yeah,
you?
it depends
Yeah.
on what's happening. Yeah.
Because I guess so. You'd be classed as a freelancer, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, because some people that would scare the hell out of them, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because in reality, you don't know when your next job's coming in at all, do you?
No.
So you could be okay for the next 3 months, or you could be in a cardboard box.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah.
so-
Yeah. So it's always a risk, but once you've done it for a few years, you sort of know
Yeah.
the ebbs and flows of it, and know your sort of average and what you can make, and
Yeah.
if you know you're going a bit low, it just makes you work a bit harder, I suppose.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're saying this earlier.
Yeah,
weren't we?
you were saying if you're rock bottom, it sort of drives you a bit more.
Yeah, it does. When you
Yeah.
think, oh shit, I can't afford food, I
Yeah.
should probably work.
Yeah, it helps to get food.
It doesn't. I like
Yeah.
food.
Oh yeah, it's alright. It's
It's all right.
overrated,
It's
but
all
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I remember when we applied to. Do you remember UCAS when we applied to uni? It's
Oh,
like the
yeah.
portal.
Yeah.
It predicted the wage for a wildlife photographer 30 grand a year.
Did it? Yeah.
Do you reckon that's accurate?
Could be. Yeah. I don't know. It depends on your.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah,
'Cause
it
I
could
bet
be
for
anywhere.
For
It could
some
be-
wildlife photographers, they might be on double that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And there'll be others who are on half that.
Yeah. It's a huge range, and it just depends what sort of niche you're into and what you're working in, really.
There's no standard wage, is there?
No,
I mean,
definitely
there's
not.
I guess we know roughly how to price things,
Yeah.
but
There's no standard, really.
no,
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
Yeah.
Because there'd be some people who say 15 grand a year, pretty comfortable on that.
Yeah.
But then there'll be others who they just couldn't make that work.
Yeah.
So
So it all depends on your personal
yeah,
life.
I always
and,
remember that because I looked for 30 grand a year. Well, that'd do me.
Yeah.
But I just clarify. I don't make that. But I'd like to.
Buy this man a coffee.
Yeah, please, yeah. Oh bloody hell! There we go. They'll get a little plug in there.
Little plug. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll do a quick thank you to everyone who has done that as well because I think it's just about paid for podcast hosting now.
Has it?
Just
that's
about,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, you deserve it because you've done a good job with these
Oh.
last 100 and whatnot.
This is the last one.
It's the last one.
Josh specifically. I mean, being because Josh in his day-to-day life is a bit of a prick.
I wouldn't say no.
See, this is the thing. You're lovely to people. Well, I don't know actually. You are kind of lovely to people, but with me, he's a bit of a prick. And he was like, "I'm only coming on if I'm going to be the 100th."
Yeah.
Jokingly. And I was like, "All right, no, you are. You're the 100th."
That was the only way he was going to get me on.
That was
if
the
it
only way I was
gonna
going to get him on. I had to kind of get him drunk the night before,
Yeah.
and then make sure he was the 100th one. So this is the last one that we've kind of shed a brief light onto.
Yeah. And thanks to my 7 followers who might have been listening.
You, because you're a bit media shy, aren't you? Really? I mean, we
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
it. So what is it? You can't be arsed with it all, or
No, I just find it all a bit fake and
Yeah.
people. Yeah, I don't know. It's not for me.
no?
And I get my work through other ways, so I don't feel like I need to do social media and
You don't rely on
all
it.
this stuff. Like, I know why it helps, and like
Yeah.
the whole world now is on social media and thinks it's the only way forward in life.
Yeah.
But it's fine. But like Instagram is just a pile of fake pictures a lot of time, over edited
Yeah.
and fake stories and all sorts. So
Yeah.
I do a bit on it, but
Yeah.
it's never driven me and never felt the urge to do it really.
It's always an event when I see Josh Jaggard post. I'm like, bloody hell, Josh has
Drop
put
me a text. Are you alright, Josh? What's happening here?
But no, I agree because it can be. I mean, I've tried it both ways. I mean, I was saying currently I've got scheduled posts for the next month to see if that makes a difference, and then I might not post something for a couple of weeks, and I can't work it out. I
Yeah.
don't know what works and what doesn't work, and I think at the end of the day, it's probably best for yourself if you just do what you like to do.
Yeah, because
You know,
people do think about it way too much and thinks it's the end all.
They get anxiety over
Yeah,
it, and
I had friends who are paid for likes and
really?
promote pictures and things, and it stresses them out. They're constantly looking and checking if people are liking and following them.
It's an addiction.
And it's like they do that, or they were doing that all night, and it was just it sort of took over, and it was like, calm down. It's not the end of the world if you don't have 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
Like as long as you've got a core amount of followers who
Yeah.
actually read your stuff and care about you and your imagery yourself, then
Exactly.
like 90% of 10k followers are going to be bullshit. Like they're not going to give
Yeah.
a shit really.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Or it'll be people just kissing people's asses saying, "Oh, like this. Oh, then
can't
like
be
me
up,
then."
Yeah. I think one of the key things is engagement. I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm useless.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I'm very much guilty of just drop and go.
Yeah.
I'll post
which is
something.
good. Like you put your work out there.
Yeah.
And then let it do what it does.
Yeah.
You're not desperate for it to get like
really.
everyone see it. You'd like it to, obviously.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But at the same time, if people enjoy it, they enjoy it, and if they don't want to look at it, don't want to look at it.
Because I remember a student. I'm telling all these stories, and I am sounding like a cunt, but I'm a marginal cunt. But a student at a university said to me, "Jack, I noticed you've only got 3,000 followers on Instagram," and I went, "Oh right, yeah. And how many have you got?" And he went, "Oh, I've got 4,000." I went, "Oh right, but you're not professional, are you?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "No." And I went, "Oh well, shut the fuck up then."
There's the grumpy old man.
And the university have not employed me since. Words to that effect. But basically, I just think you can see people and they've got this sort of aura, but they're only going to show you what they want to show you.
Yeah,
that's not the real them. And I bet if you had a look at actually what they earn and what they do, it's two very different things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. People will hide their actual jobs and pretend they're photographers a lot of the time.
Yeah, you do get that. That's a really good point, isn't it?
Which I find bizarre. Like, there's nothing wrong with having another job.
No.
Nothing at all. But people feel like they have to say they're photographers.
Almost ashamed, aren't they?
Yeah, which I find bizarre. But
so, what constitutes a professional then, in your eyes?
Well, I suppose it's just anyone who makes money out of it, really.
Any amount of money, not.
Well, you'd have a fair bit of the income.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, what do you class as wildlife photography? Do you class as guiding as wildlife photography?
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Or do you just class it as stills?
Yeah, because if you said right, only people who make money from physically going out and taking stills, that's not going to be many.
No,
is
that'll
it?
be not probably some very small handful,
very
if
few.
that. Yeah.
But like you say, like there could be people who are guiding, but strictly speaking, you're not.
You're a guide. You're not a wildlife photographer.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Well, a lot of guides take cameras with them, but yeah.
Or I'm trying to think of another example, or I don't know, lectures or stuff. It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. So
because arguably we're both really more camera operators than photographers now.
Yeah. There's sort of bit of everything really.
What
I wouldn't know what I'd class myself as if someone needed a title.
I can think of a few titles if you want me to rattle them off.
Twat.
you know.
Yeah.
And so stills or video.
What
would you?
What?
Get out of it.
What?
What? Do you prefer stills or video?
I prefer stills.
Do you?
But there's more money in video.
Yeah.
Like if I could have a job just in stills, I'd probably have it. But
every camera op I've asked has said the same thing.
Yeah.
They've always said I'm the same. I like the simplicity.
Yeah.
I like that you haven't got to tell a story necessarily. You can just take one still and it works really well. And it's just I think it's easy. I think it is easier, to be honest.
Yeah, it's easier, definitely.
I think so.
Yeah, at times it's harder to get newer stuff these days with stills.
Yeah,
because everyone's done, unless you have a niche like yourself, where not too many people's done like the fish and things.
But then you're not really. I mean, I guess you are kind of niche with otters, but you're relatively general. Aren't
you?
Relatively
general. Yeah, I sort of concentrate on otters, but then branch off to all sorts of things when people need it, so to speak.
Orcas and puffins and
a bit of everything.
Stuff. But
yeah. So
it's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a crazy mixed up, shooked up world that we.
Indeed.
We work in. Well, look, mate, we're both flagging.
Yeah.
Shall we grab a cup of tea, an ibuprofen, and pass out somewhere?
Sounds good, and it's 7:30.
Bloody terrible. Look, mate, I really appreciate you coming on. Thanks for doing it, because I know you generally like to hide in a corner rather than do this. So
no, it's been good. It's been good, and well done for all the podcasts. They've been amazing.
Thank you very much, sir.
And do generally buy him a coffee, because it would mean a lot.
Because I'm fucking skint.
Yeah, and that, yeah. I've been over his for 2 days and I haven't eaten once. And I paid for that. Fuck.
Yeah, he did. Cheers, man.
Cheers, buddy.
That was Josh Jaggard. Absolute bloody legend. I thought he came across really well, and hopefully that's kind of given you an insight into the wildlife photography industry. But also do go and check Josh's work out. He's got some amazing images, some fantastic sequences, and there's a link to his website in the description. Now, normally I plug the social media for Birded Tits podcast, but I thought I'd plug my own today, really because that's where you're going to see stuff going forward, or at least for the immediate future. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at JackPerksPhoto. On Facebook, it's Jack Perks Wildlife Media. On Instagram, it's at FishTwitcher. And on YouTube, and this is where most of my new content's going to be coming out, I'm going to be really concentrating on YouTube while I'm not doing the podcast. That's also Jack Perks Wildlife Media. And if you've enjoyed the podcast, you'll probably enjoy some of the YouTube content. There's a lot of stuff that I do on there that's just voiceover, fact files. I also do some whimsical videos like moth trapping and stuff like that. Go check it out. It might not be your cup of tea. Maybe it is. Have a look. Make your own minds up. It's been emotional. Thanks for tuning in. This is the last Bearded Tits podcast for now. We have got some stuff coming up. I've got some really exciting ideas for the future. I mean, this might not be for a few months, and I don't want to talk about too much of it. One thing that will happen periodically is I'm going to have special guest hosts. So I won't be hosting them, but every now and again, people who have been on the podcast before will be stepping in for me and interviewing someone they know. So there will be podcasts dropped. I don't know, I don't want to put a figure on it. Every month or so, might drop the odd one, but it's not going to be any regularity to it. Eventually, we will do it again. I'm thinking about maybe doing seasons. So maybe doing 10 episodes, 20 episodes, have a little break, then another 10, rather than putting the pressure on me to just keep dropping episodes each week. Because I'd rather go out on a high. I feel like this podcast has got a nice reputation. I'm doing well, and I'd rather go out now before it gets a bit shit. So that's one of my viewpoints on it. But thanks for tuning in. This has been the Bearded Tits podcast. I've been your host, Jack Perks, and I'll see you somewhere down the line. Cheers.